Hi friends, good morning, and I hope you all had a profitable day yesterday. Very tough day yesterday, to be honest, because market was not much trending. In fact, if you see, Nifty was slightly negative. It started from 17,000 and moved slowly downwards. So now we have to see how market behaves being a monthly expiry, and this is also a yearly expiry. So being a yearly expiry, there will be a lot of people who would be exiting their stocks. Somebody has made a profit of maybe say 10 lakh profit in one particular stock, or maybe okay 1 lakh profit in the other stock, they would be exiting at loss because for tax gains. Okay, that is the one scenario which we will be witnessing, and a lot of investment in mutual funds would also be going down. uh, the other thing what I would want to speak about is yesterday we had shared these trades. If you remember, we had the Hiromoto 2300 we are shared on the YouTube free. Most of you had noticed, and I'm hoping that everybody traded and made some good profit, because this 2300 put moved made a low of 11 and then moved upwards, and if somebody had trailed the stop loss, it went to made a high of 40, which is about 250%. Others were not active because most of the, and I think Nifty C initially was active. This again gives some profit of 140 plus, and Tata Steel was not active. Then we shared FinNifty. We said above 40, but then we also said can hold as even if SL gets hit. And we told them to buy add again at 15. If you see here 17,000 CE, we told to add 15. This made a high. I think first time it went to 31. The second time again we mentioned to add at 16. This time it blasted and made high of 38, which is almost double. So whatever loss we could have made in any of the other trades, we would have covered with this high volume expiry. Bank Nifty, on the other hand, actually opened at around 39,542. Of course, moved down and then closed at 39,650. So at the end, the CV got active, but we were since we were slightly tied up, we did not at work. Did not notice and did not trade much. So for today, I have my view is very simple and straight. If market can sustain above uh, 39,700, then we will easily see 39,800. If it tends to stay below, uh, but if you look at the structure of the market, there is this kind of a pattern which is formed, which is slightly, if you see here, there are two patterns. One is this W pattern kind of a formation, which wants to move up. The other hand, it is also broken this trend line and closed above it. So doesn't mean that it has to move, but all again depends on the option chain, the big players, how they want to the market. Uh, Many of them speak about support resistance. I always mention, don't go by age-old traditions of trading. Go into modern technologies. Now there are a lot of strategies or a lot of tools which will share us uh, uh, you know how to understand the big players positions. We will look at market profile and other tools which will help you to take an informed decision. So during in our training, we do share these different tools which we use to trade apart from the open interest data. We will also have a look at the open interest data, which is, to be honest, the FIs have already closed most of the positions and holding some positions towards the long side. And as their orders are mostly in the algo, these positions get very quickly closed. So you will not know when they added the position or exited the position. So here we see 17,000 seems to have good call writers, which is a resistance for today. And in fact, yesterday, I think that's the reasons where market fell. 39,500 put writers are holding the market as of now. This will change at the due course, and 40,000 is so market can be between this range of 39,500 to 40,000 is what we can see. So as I was mentioning this pattern, this looks like slightly upwards, but doesn't mean that it has to move. What I am doing is I am going by levels 39 for 400. If it moves about 320, I'm looking at targets of 400 to 500 plus. Whereas 39 600 moves about 240, then I'm looking at targets of 300 to 400. ITC, I'm looking to trade. Here I'm looking at the April series because we do not want to not suggest to trade week monthly expiry. 380 call because the way we do not know when they start covering the positions, and being as I mentioned, this is not just a weekly or a monthly, this is a yearly expiry as well. So ITC 380 call, once this moves about 10, then we can look at targets of 12 to 15. And Cipla also we're looking at 890 call once of April. Once this moves about 30, when we can look at targets of 24, targets of 42 to 50 plus. Sun Pharma, I'm looking at 990 call to 720 about 27. I'm looking at 40 plus. Titan is slightly range bound at the moment, but then there is a two different patterns which is created. This also looks like a M pattern, so we need to see how whether it will retest this level and start moving. Accordingly, we will trade today. Crompton Greaves, uh, if you notice, it made a big fall here, and then looked at towards 282, but then has retraced back, giving strong signs of upward movement for short term as well. So one can trade maybe 300 call. I haven't checked, but if you want me to check, let me check. And again, we will look at Crompton. 300 call of April. I think once this moves above 8.8, and I'm looking at targets of 10 to 12. SL for this would be around 7. So uh, Syngin also I'm looking to go long because there's a triangle breakout, but then we need to see whether this gets tested, retested, and then starts moving up. Uh, Again, if you see, this has been very consolidating, but then from a short term, uh, from a short term perspective, to this could be a good perspective to add in equity. AB Capital. If you remember, this is the trend, downtrend or ascending triangle which has formed. We also bought 140 call once and made some profit in that. So now I think it is forming a kind of M pattern, but then if depends. So it is trading again in the same trend. Let us see if how it will retest. I'm sure it will retest this level of 150, 150, and then stand move on and then start moving up. So one can look at it again in the equity front for short-term perspective. Arvindo Pharma has been really good, performing well. If somebody holding this stock, I would suggest them to hold this for some more time. Uh, we could possibly see 700 to 800 in a couple of months from now. Uh, but I personally, if you ask me, the entry exit, I would not suggest entries right away because this could again uh, this could again retest levels of 490 and then start moving up, or even lower and then start moving up. Vedanta also we're looking to go long. Uh, uh, we're planning to go long intraday as well. We may look at 275 for target of 279. Policy Bazaar also looking good. I would look at targets of 680 plus. Apollo Hospitals slightly very volatile, not slightly quite volatile stock. I would look to do a SIP because of it has been, you know, forming this support. If you see, uh, and then start moving up. So the other thing I would want to thought of discussing is about the Adani. If you see today, even one of our friend we were discussing the Adani yesterday. Adani, there was big fall in Adani stocks because of the news that they are regarding the repayment of debt issues and they need some more time. So let's look at Adani Enterprises as well. Uh, so this looks pretty weak. Also, there's no much of confidence in the stock. If you see, there is a big downtrend here. Unless it moves above 1900, then I think Adani Enterprise, the mother company, may not see some moves according to the charts. If you also look at the option chain or other datas, there's been quite a bit of volatile movements. I personally we would not suggest to be with the stock. One can look at BEML for a long-term perspective also. Uh, from a very, very long-term perspective, to be honest. Let it retest. Uh, you can do a SIP, let it retest 1000 levels and form a pattern where we can start to add huge quantities. So thank you all for your likes. Thank you for subscribing, sharing with your friends. God bless you all and take care. And today is expiry. We will be, if you are joining our Telegram, we will try and see if we can share some expiry trades as well. We will try and make use of the premiums which gets because there's no much of a premium decay today. So being an expiry, the options also tend to behave like what you can say as a future. So it moves very fast as future moves. So